Greetings. Just wanted to make a quick video on the Pews. I might have a few short videos coming out this week and next week. I figured, some of my recent videos on the Pews were quite long. They were close to an hour long and, dealing with multiple subjects. So I thought it might be helpful to deal with individual subjects and, give each subject its own short video. So in this video, I just want to respond to one thing I saw in a recent show on Sista's channel, in which Kelly Richardson yet again asserts that none of the videos discussing the case for Arabic on a pew have transliterated what precisely might appear in an alleged Arabic reading on a pew. Now, this is a claim I've dealt with before, but it may have been buried in longer videos, so I thought I'd devote a quick video to the subject. But here, listen to what Kelly Richardson said in his recent appearance on Sista. Here you go.
But guess what? They still haven't done a line by line, letter by letter, what I've done, transliteration of that particular pew. They have not done that, and they don't show it and never showed it in any of their videos purposely.
Okay, so this claim that none of the videos discussing the case for Arabic on a pew have put forth a transliteration of what characters may appear in a given reading for a pew, that claim is patently false because, transliterations have appeared in a number of videos on my channel and then in re-uploads on Vocab's channel and Faithful to God's channel and elsewhere. But nonetheless, I'm going to give a number of examples here. I'll also give links to the relevant videos in the video description of this video. But here's an example from October of 2020, from last October. And I just want to mention that this is a video that Kelly Richardson himself has taken clips from, so he's seen this video before. But here's the portion where I give a transliteration and also enunciate each individual character in the string of characters being proposed in the hypothetical case for this particular pew. Here, listen to this. And this takes us to this next portion in which Pastor Richardson continues to refer to me.
He made an assumption off of what? Two letters.
Here, Pastor Richardson was referring to that aforementioned thought experiment in which I presented a hypothetical case for Arabic. But I did not merely propose two letters. Rather, I proposed two Arabic words, ilahi, an-Nas, a phrase meaning God of mankind. It's actually a verse from the last chapter of the Qur'an. And it's not merely two characters, rather the relevant phrase spans 8 characters. Alif-lam-ha, alif-lam-nun-alif-seen. Now, okay, so again, that was from October of 2020. That was from last October. But more recently, I had a video from just this past month, from March, from the month of March, in which I shared other videos. I mentioned other videos where, where the precise reading is laid out. And then in this same video, I also laid out the reading yet again. I laid it out very clearly, character by character. So it's worth playing this yet again. And this clip that I'm going to play will open up with Kelly Richardson once again making this charge that, that we've never put forth a transliteration of what allegedly appears in a case for Arabic on a pew. So this is going to run for about 2.5 minutes. But listen to this.
Notice how the Roman Catholic Al-MaseeHee, Amanatani, never gives an actual letter-by-letter breakdown as I did on the pews in question. Instead, he makes an assertive effort to show visual comparisons of writings of Arabic calligraphy. You will not find a single video of anyone in this UA group giving a letter-by-letter transliteration of the pew in question as I did. What he and Faith...
I have to say, the claim that I have not given a letter-by-letter transliteration of my proposed reading of the relevant pew is, honestly, it's surprising. I'm even tempted to say it's shocking. It leaves me to wonder how closely our friend, the good doctor, has watched the relevant videos. In my video from last December, titled The Case for Arabic on a Pew Revisited, I devoted about 12 minutes to discussing each character. I give a long and detailed look at the proposed reading. All right. So too, in my original video on the subject from October of 2019, my original video, when I first proposed, a hypothetical Arabic reading for that pew, I discussed each letter in that hypothetical reading. I even gave a transliteration at the end. And that video was played by Brother Berean when I appeared on his show in mid-November. But if Dr. Kelly would like me to clearly lay out each letter, I'll do so again now, and I'll do it even more clearly. I'll try to be even more clear this time. Here's what I originally and primarily proposed. Alif, lam, alif-lam-ha, alif-lam-nun-alif-seen. And that spells ilahi, an-Nas, the God of mankind. That's what I had originally proposed when I first put forward my hypothetical case. And then later on, in a slightly adapted form, I also proposed that a final scene appeared before the start of that. So that's what I proposed in my hypothetical case for Arabic on a pew. Now, what you see on your screen is a clear computer-generated printed form. Obviously, I was proposing a handwritten form, a somewhat shaky or sloppy, perhaps quasi-calligraphic form, like this. And that fits on the relevant pew quite well. It fits perfectly, it seems to me. And we're back to the present day. At this point, I hope it's clear that it is absolutely incorrect to claim that no video has put forth a transliteration of what appears in a given Arabic reading for a pew. I hope that's clear at this point. It should be clear. If it comes up again, I can just simply link back to this short video. And for me now, the only question is, did Kelly Richardson miss all these videos, including videos that he took clips from, or is he merely just sort of playing it up for his audience? I'm not certain. But whatever the case, like I said, it should be obvious now that, the transliteration has been put forth. On a closing note, however, it was mentioned that what was proposed was a somewhat sloppy or, handwritten reading, the relevant phrase written in a handwritten, quasi-calligraphic, perhaps a bit sloppy form. And with that in mind, Kelly Richardson understands for other languages that, the writer may have been under a certain level of duress, so they wouldn't necessarily produce a perfectly eloquent and and pristine text. So with that in mind, let's just listen to this one clip before we close it out.
So what many of the poor approach to the pews is trying to look at it from a secular academic perspective by saying, hey, this is how the letter should be written. This is how the word should be laid out. But when you are in a position of bondage, the language, all the rules change. Everything changed. The rules are off the table. So
Okay, that was awesome. So the gist of that was that certain people will raise objections saying a letter should be written like this or the word should be written like that, according to the basically standard rules of the relevant language that's being claimed to appear on the pews. And Dr. Kelly Richardson is saying, well, the writer may have been a slave who was under duress, and therefore, these rules need not apply to them. The gist of it is that, a slave could write something a bit more sloppily or something which may or may not violate certain rules of the relevant language that's being claimed. Okay, fine. But that raises a question, and that's the question that I have here on the screen. So this is the question I would like to pose to the good doctor. Are attempts to show Hebrew or Ge'ez on the pews exempt from standard rules of language, while those rules still apply to attempts to show Arabic on the pews? Is that the case? And the reason why I asked this question is because on both Benaiah Israel's channel and Kelly Richardson's channel, they showed some interview in which William Brown interviewed yet another anonymous scholar, another secret scholar, in which he laid out some arguments against the case for Arabic. And they held Arabic to a much higher standard than they did Ge'ez or Hebrew. And I'll cover this in a future video because honestly, that is a big issue. The question of methodology remains, and the question of even scales. I think the very fact that they have to hold Arabic to a higher standard than they hold Hebrew or Ge'ez to is itself a testament to the fact that the case for Arabic is stronger than it is for Hebrew or Ge'ez on the pews. But like I said, I'll cover that in a future video. I'll close this one here. Hope it was short enough. And as always, comments are welcome. I look forward to any comments that others are willing to share. And God bless.